Welcome to 3 Minute Thoughts. So let's talk about the Church of Scientology. So I quickly gloss over it when I talk about California. That yes, I spent 8 months with that organization. They took me in, and back in '93, I just moved to LA. They found me a place to stay. I was volunteer working there, and I worked there at the downtown branch in East Hollywood for 8 months before I finally just did this tirade storm out saying I can't have anything to do with you anymore, because anything less they would not accept. They would find ways to control you to be like, oh yeah, you can still work things out and work here and stuff. Anyway, so I left. Now, organization, I would say is bad. In a nutshell, some of their beliefs are good, some of their beliefs are bad, but organizations are made of people and people are flawed. So I'd have issues with most organized religion. And if I look at this specific one and look at the traits of what a cult is, yes, it is a cult. It matches the criterias. I probably have to make a whole other video discussing about that. But, what were some of the good things? They did help me improve my memory, which was already good. And they did help with meditating, even though it wasn't really meditating. It's an interesting process involving basically sitting still for like an hour and not thinking, which is really difficult. Because even when you're trying not to think, you're thinking about not thinking. But enough about that. One thing I want to point out is, after all these years, it's been 25 years or 20, almost 30 years, they're still hounding me. They've found my mailing address and they're still sending me stuff. And the place where I'm at, they just throw the mail away right away. I don't even get it. I've just told them, I don't want this stuff, just throw it away. So I don't even see it. But they're still after me. They're very persistent, which is not a good thing. Very briefly, they had grandiose ideas of what they were going to do. And I feel, I haven't actually researched this, but 30 years later, they have not achieved any of those grandiose ideas. So all these promises they're making of materials they're going to release that has not released in these 30 years. That's a big negative towards them. But now, what kind of miracles? This is a cute little story. A miracle that I remember hearing someone accomplished was they were able to drive to work without hitting any stoplights. They had all green lights the whole way. I'm thinking that's really impressive, especially in LA, be able to drive to work without hitting any stoplights. But is that peer reviewed? Have you been able to repeat this, or was this just a really happy coincidence? And in the scope of miracles, isn't something more grandiose better? Like that seems very tepid. Anyway, I haven't had any connections to them in 30 some years. No plans on going back. Probably got more to say about them, but ask me your questions about them. Let me know. I can tell you a lot. Have a good one.